Hey guys, how you doing? I'm back with some more information. I just got my ACR card, the actual card, and it's kind of like about the size of a driver's license. If you can see that, you know, there's stuff on the back too, but it's got numbers and all that, so I don't want to, show all that stuff. But basically, and there's a chip too on here. But yeah, it's basically like about the size of a U.S. driver's license. It's all plastic. It's kind of like a credit card plastic type. It's pretty good quality. Um, the what was I going to say? The back. Now it's only good for a year. This is a tourist ACR card. Obviously, because initially you're always going to be a tourist here. Because you have to be here. I think for as far as I know, I think you kind of have to be here for like 3 months before you can get like a residency visa, right? Like you have to have an ACR card, I believe. But you might want to double check on that. You know what I mean? Like if you are going for a residency visa, check with your visa person about that. Um, but but anyway, yeah, So I've been here for, geez, I think almost June, July, August, September. Yeah, almost 4 months, about 1 week shy of 4 months. Um, but the way the ACR card works is at the 59-day point. Okay, when you've been here for 59 days, that's when you apply for the ACR card or whatever. You fill out a little extra form or whatever, and you pay for it. You know what I mean? Like that's where you pay for it. Now, under normal conditions, I think even when you put a rush on it, like you do with a visa, sometimes when you extend your visa, you're going to pay an extra 1,000 pesos just to get it the same day, your visa extension, instead of having to come back 3 days later. So, and the ACR card, I think it's like 500 pesos for the express or whatever, but it's not that expressy. You know what I mean? Like, it's still about a month after you pay for it. So after your 59th day, it's going to take about a month after that, once you've paid for the ACR card, right, and put in for it and everything. It's going to take at least 1 month. Now, in this case, I went back a month later just for my regular extension, and it wasn't ready. So I did my extension, for 2 more months at that point, and I just figured, well, I'll either go back when my 2 months is up for, when I do my last 2 months, like in November or whatever, early November, or I could go back anytime, between like when it's ready. You know what I mean? So we wound up going there a couple days ago, because it's a taxi ride. You know what I mean? It's like a 400 peso each way taxi ride. So, you kind of want to we went there. I figured, what, to when you get your ACR card, it does have some benefits because there are some stores that will give you discounts as long as you have the ACR card. you know Now there's other stores which I've already mentioned, like drugstores, that will give you senior discounts even if you don't have your ACR card yet. If you just have your driver's license, in your home country that proves, how old you are, that you're over 60. But there's other stores where if you have an ACR card, they give you discounts. So I thought, let's just go get it, like, because it was been about 3 weeks since we had gone there last time for the extension, since the 1 month point. So I knew it would be ready, you know. I actually called him first, but the gentleman I spoke to wasn't in his office, so he said, "Oh, could you check with me at 11:30? Like, which like 45 minutes from now, and I'll be in my office." And I thought, well, I think it'll be fine. So we just went there, you know, because that's about what time we could get there, if because we were leaving soon after that. So we did that. We just went there, and it was ready, and it took like 5 minutes. It really didn't take long at all. I mean, we just went right in there. I went right in there and sat down for like not even 5 minutes. And the guy called me I checked in with him first, right? Nobody was ahead of me, so I just checked in with the guy, told him what I wanted or what I needed, what I was there for. He looked it up and saw that it was ready, and he said, "Okay, sir, just sit down for a few minutes, And while he went and got it, so I did. Like I said, 5 minutes later, he came out with the card, and gave me my receipt back for all the visa extensions and all that. And which you do have to bring if when you go to pick up your ACR card, bring your passport and bring all your receipt that you paid for the ACR card, right, and all the other visa extensions receipts. Now, how much did it cost, right, for the ACR card? Man, I tell you, the receipt's kind of confusing. As near as I can tell, because I remember at the time I was also doing an extension. You're doing an extension, which I think was only, well, yeah, you're doing like a, I don't know, like I guess it was a 1 month extension because I figured, well, I'm going to come back in a month to get my ACR card anyway, so I just did 1 month instead of 2 months. So 1 month is usually with the express, it's usually like around 2,000 pesos, which is $35 or whatever. So, um, but this time it was that I did the extension plus all the fees for the card, and as near as I can tell, it's like it was around 6,000 pesos for the card. And if you Google it, guess what? You're not going to get accurate information. I mean, I even went to their website and it said something like, "Oh, it only costs like $50," or something like that. And I'm like, no, that's not what I paid. And this is Manila, man. This isn't like some little office where somebody was making money on me or something. This was like one of the major satellite offices in Quezon City. And so I'm pretty sure it's accurate. You know what I mean? And it was closer to like 6,000. Something like that. It breaks it down. It's kind of confusing, man. I mean, I know how to read stuff, and I'm used to like dealing with stuff here, but it was even confusing for me the way they broke it down. And there's like prices in the left column, and then there's prices in the right column, like what you paid and whatever. It's, I don't know. I could show it to you, but it would just confuse the hell out of you. But the bottom line is I think it was around 6,000 because my total fee for that day was like 8,000, I think, and change. And that was including the extension, which is usually like about 2,000. But anyway, so that's what's going on with that. And also keep in mind they're only good for 1 year. Okay, the ACR card, the tourist ACR card. So if you're going to stay here if you're going to stay here on a tourist visa for any extended amount of time, you're going to have to extend your ACR card. Now, how much is that? You know what? I have no idea. I don't even want to speculate because, again, I Googled it and the information that I found on two separate occasions was from like 2014. And it basically said it was like around $60, including the express, which would be like you're probably going to get it the same day. You probably have to come back in an hour or something like that, but you can get it the same day. It showed $60. Is that accurate? I have no idea. And that was 8 years ago. I mean, could it be double? I'm sure, by now of that. So I don't know. You'd have to talk to somebody that's been on a tourist visa for, quite a while or whatever, over a year, and then they'd be able to tell you. Or you could do some further digging into the immigration website. You know what I mean? But the one I looked at it looked like it was up to date. It had a picture of the new president on there. So I'm like, but the number they gave for like how much it was, I don't know if it was just for how much it was from scratch from the beginning or how much to renew, but it was a low dollar amount. And it was like, no, that's not what it was, I don't think. So just plan on, bring enough money, you know what I mean? Like luckily I had enough money on me, you know what I mean? I was like, because I always bring more than I need whenever I go somewhere here. You just kind of like bring more than you need because, you never know, something could pop up. And not every place is going to take credit cards. It's going to accept credit cards for payment. Even in Manila, like I don't know about government offices and all that. They might. I don't even want to try it. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather just pay cash. It's not that much money. You know, it's not like it's thousands of dollars or something. You know, or whatever. You know, it's like $100 or less. You know, so just bring them the right amount of cash with you. You know, and that's what I would recommend. You know, like especially for extending it too after a year. You know, or renewing it after a year. I think that's about all I want to talk about on this video. So. But yeah, but it's kind of cool to have it. You know what I mean? Like, and it didn't take long. Like I said, where I went, it was like literally 5 minutes. You know, so that was kind of nice. And you know, while we were there, it was sort of midday, so we eat usually around 1, 2 o'clock. Like we kind of the girls eat their sort of main meal at around that time, and so we all sort of ate at that time. And we got food from Wing. I think it's Wings and Things. I believe it's called Wings and Things. Excuse me. They had one right, you know, like on the upper floor where you're going to exit to get a taxi. Excuse me. They had one right there, so it's the second time we went to that place. It's pretty good food, actually. So while we were there, we got food to take home, you know, for lunch. All right, guys, that's it. I'll talk to you later. Have a good day.